Hello, welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. We're moving on here as we go through the text of A Course in Miracles to chapter 22, which is known as Salvation and the Holy Relationship. So let's spend a few minutes here just talking about the four-paragraph intro, the introduction to this section of the text. And begs the question, what exactly is a holy relationship in the language of A Course in Miracles? And how's that different from an unholy relationship? Well, quite, of course, as you might imagine. It's very different. So let's spend some time on this because the foundational premise of this is very, very important. So, whether you're new to this material or whether you consider yourself to be a seasoned veteran with decades of experience studying and practicing this material and decades of experience in the practice, the moment to moment practice of true forgiveness, there's something in this and every conversation for you. What that is, I have no idea. Isn't that exciting? All I do is I have a premise and the camera comes on, the microphone gets turned on, and the premise is I'm going to go through this portion of the text or this idea. What appears to come out of my mouth, I have no idea. I don't know when I start out. What's really important about this is that you will know the message that's intended for you. It will hit you. How will it hit you? I don't know. Maybe like a club. I don't know. I don't know. Perhaps as something really joyful, an aha moment, or a profound relief, perhaps. Perhaps it will be a confirmation of something that you just feel that you've always known you have. And that's the Holy Spirit communicating to you. Anything that lands is Him. Anything at all. So you'll know what that message is. So, what's a holy relationship? What's an unholy relationship? Well, let's start with the unholy relationship because we're in a lot of them here on this wobbling, spinning ball of rock. Yeah. And we don't often pause to consider all of our special relationships in the world unholy. Here's what the Course means by that. They're based on differences. I mean, there we go. They're based on the fundamental premise of differences, of separation. That is the one error that needs to be corrected. This mistake, it's a mistake, this mistaken belief that we're separate from God. We are not, and that we're separate from everyone else that's running around here. All of us separate individual human beings living our own lives with our own personal ego needs. That's how we've set the game up, after all. And here we are, playing it and complaining about it a lot because we suffer. An unholy relationship is based on differences, and there's some very, very poetic and beautiful language here in paragraph 2 of the introduction to chapter 22 of the text, where Jesus talks about two people living together under the same roof. He's using the example here of a partnership, a marriage, or it could be a relationship with someone that lives under the same roof as you, a family member, or someone that's staying with you temporarily, or whatever the situation may in fact be. It's two people that are worlds apart, each entertaining their own supposedly private thoughts. They could be seated right next to one another on a couch under a common roof that shelters neither, worlds apart. Why? Seeing our interests as separate from someone else's. This typifies and characterizes almost all of our relationships here in the world, which are based on differences. And we erroneously think that we need another person or another group of people, another situation to complete us and render us whole. We've looked within, in other words, and seen ourselves lacking. We think we've looked within, but if we were to look within, we'd find something else completely. We think we're out something and we're off to manipulate or to relate to or to connect with another person to get this perceived lack met. And the languaging here may seem, maybe a little bit harsh. I mean, we think we're looking within and seeing a lack. Really, we're looking all around us and saying, hey, I want this, I want that. This person can help me get this. So I'm going to be nice to them for a little while. They can help me complete myself. And people come together and take what they can take until the other person has nothing left to give. And then bye bye. I mean, just for example. That's characteristic of our relationships in the world. We think we're lacking. So we seek the aid or the assistance of someone else or a group of people that appear separate from us to fill that lack. We think we're lacking. It's based on separation. So, because you're following along and watching this, implicit in this is you are not lacking anything at all. May not feel like it right now, but that's the truth for all of us. Each and every one of us is complete and whole, just as we are. Son of God. It's very profound. And quite naturally, we run off doing life and we're apt to completely overlook what's very natural and very obvious. I mean, don't feel badly. We all do it. And we all keep doing it, which is why this conversation appears to be happening. So let's contrast the unholy relationship, which is based on differences. That's its fundamental premise, with the holy relationship. Premise is completely different. In the holy relationship, we've really looked within. We think we're looking within in unholy, ordinary, conventional relationships. But when we really look within, there's no lack. The Son of God can lack nothing. Nothing. When you really look within and you see no lack, you naturally and automatically want to and do extend this completion. It's natural. When you look within and see no lack, it's, well, overjoying. It's joyful and exuberant and powerful. Those are all words that convey some meaning to us, but it doesn't really even come close. All words can do is point to the experience. After all, it's natural and automatic when you look within and perceive no lack at all to want to extend it and to extend it by joining with what appears to be another person or a group, again, of people by joining with them. A holy relationship is based on sameness, our one and the sameness, not differences, but sameness. And that fundamental premise is huge. What we're doing when we look within and we perceive no lack is we're accepting our own completion. We're not denying who and what we are, and you know what that is. We're not denying that. We're accepting our completion, our identity with a capital I. Yeah, our wholeness, all of that. We're accepting that and sharing it, giving it away automatically and joyfully. That strengthens it. When we engage in our conventional, unholy relationships here in the world, we erroneously think that to give something away means we're out that thing, like giving away $20. Yeah, well, that's $20 you don't have in your wallet. Real giving and receiving are one and the same. They're the same, and they're simultaneous. Giving something away is how we keep it in our mind. This is a fundamental tenet of A Course in Miracles, and it's very important. It's very important. When we give something away, we keep it in our mind. When you give judgment, hatred, and blame away, you keep it in your mind. And when you extend the miracle of true forgiveness, when you extend love, you keep it in your mind. It strengthens. We cannot project things away. They strengthen in our mind. Thoughts remain in the mind of the thinker, after all. Another way of looking at this that's very well known here in the Course: ideas leave not their source. Thoughts remain in the mind of the thinker. We only think that we can blame somebody for what we think is our plight and get rid of that nasty feeling, but it stays in our mind, as we all know perfectly well and would love to deny. That stays in our mind too. Yeah. Thoughts remain in the mind of the thinker. Ideas leave not their source. There's another way you can look at ideas leave not their source, Son of God. Ideas leave not their source, capital S. Yeah, how about that? Thoughts remain in the mind of the thinker. It's very important to know that throughout this course, we're referred to as the thought of God, the extension of God. Like extends like, love extends love, not hatred, love. God extends himself. Ideas leave not their source. Son of God, where are you in truth? Go there. We're invited to go there. And you know it's true. If you didn't know that, there's no way in this world, wobbling, spinning, illusory dream world, that you would be even interested in spirituality at all. Because let's face it, there are a lot of phenomena out there, a lot of stuff to attract our attention. And here you are, which is huge. And you know it's huge. So, in the past few lessons here recently, we've talked about not denying our reality, not denying who, what, and where we are, and not denying it because it is the truth, which is huge. When you really look within, there's no lack. The Son of God is perfectly complete and whole as the creation of God. Like extends like, after all. We lack nothing. So when you look within and see this, it's quite natural. It's really automatic to extend this, to share it, and to join with someone else. When we do this, we're overlooking the physical form. We're overlooking all of our apparent differences here in the world, like our apparently different bodies, our apparently different genders, for example, our apparently different nationalities, height, weight, occupations, social statuses. None of that matters because none of it's true. And we just look past all of the supposedly exterior drama to the reality, to truth, the truth of perfect oneness. And recognizing that, we keep it in our mind by extending it. It's joyful. That's, again, one of the best ways we could characterize this experience in words. And ultimately, words don't even come close because the experience of who, what, and where we are is beyond words. Our experience of truth, truth itself, is beyond words. It's beyond all of our concepts, which quite naturally includes language. Now, here we're using language to communicate with one another. In other words, the Holy Spirit's using this widely spoken language known as English to communicate to you because you understand it, which is a lot of people on this spinning ball of rock. There's absolutely no accident in that, nor is there any accident whatever in the fact that you're watching this still. Hmm. It's huge. And I very much appreciate that. Not just for clicks and views and all of those fancy social media statistics, but for what it actually means for you and for every single living thing. Because, and this is always going to be the case, your dedication and commitment to your spiritual practice is enormous. It's the highest, best offering you could ever make anyone, anywhere, at any time. And nothing comes close to that. So, for you to be interested in this course in the first place means quite a lot. And for you to actually go forth and practice it means even more still. Really does. I mean, because when the utterly profound nature of these ideas sinks in, it's a game changer. That's, again, just a way we characterize that in words. So, along the way, questions are bound to arise because spirituality is self inquiry, and it makes no difference whether you're a long-time course student or whether you're a course student at all. Everyone is welcome. And, well, A Course in Miracles is like that. It's completely all inclusive. It is a self study curriculum, it's not a religion. So it doesn't profess to own the truth or contain the truth within a fancy, elaborate building. It's a self study curriculum, which we undertake under the guidance of the Holy Spirit or Jesus, same, our inner teacher. We undertake this and take as much as we find ourselves able or willing to take on a given day. So, how far will you allow yourself to be led today? That's the question. And then we get up and we do the same thing tomorrow. It makes no difference what your background is. It makes no difference where you come from in the world or the experiences that you've had and endured, in a lot of cases, suffered to bring you here. What matters is you're here right now watching this. So there has been a message, or perhaps a series of messages specifically for you from the Holy Spirit. You'll know what those are. And everyone is most welcome to study and practice this course, whether it is your standalone go-to for spirituality, or whether you use it in conjunction with your walk in another tradition or other traditions, doesn't really matter. What matters is you're here right now. And should you have questions, I'm more than happy to be of assistance in any way that I can with that. Please feel welcome to leave the questions here on the comment thread here on YouTube. It's an excellent place to do that. If you have not yet subscribed, I'd love to have you join us. So please go ahead and do that. This is the prompt in the corner of your screen. Click that icon here, and you will be invited to join us. And well, several videos pop up here every week because, well, there's always something to talk about when it comes to our spiritual practice. That's for sure. Right. Okay. So I thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you soon.